Welcome to Rootz Revolution Sports. We're here to talk MMA and whatever else comes up. So welcome again. It's been a long time. We're back. I'm Henry Clemente.
I'm Shane.
And let's go. So yeah, a lot's happened in MMA since we've been on here. But we had our little private conversations. We watched a bunch of fights. We was going crazy watching these fights on TV, all these different things happening. I guess I'm gonna start from Rose Namajunas fighting Jędrzejczyk again. Jędrzejczyk Rose 2. Obviously, Rose beat her a second time. It was a close fight. Jędrzejczyk is still saying she's champion, that she never lost, but that's not what the judges said. So how you feel about the whole Rose Namajunas Jędrzejczyk 2 fight?
It was necessary because they had to do a rematch anyway. Being that it went to decision, I guess she felt that she didn't officially lose, but she did officially lose. The first fight, you officially lost because you got knocked down, at least. If you don't want to admit being knocked out, that's fine. You got knocked down. And I understand it. You got to keep that attitude that you're always a champion. Even if you haven't even fought yet, even if you're not even in professional fighting yet, you always got to feel like you're the champion anyway. And being that she's been a champion, she feels that's her belt. And honestly, as her fan, that is her belt. And I feel that is her belt. But you got to fight for it back. That's just the way the game is. And I think I want to say I think there should be a 3. But then again, no, because even if there is a third one, Namajunas already beat you twice. So already the 2 out of 3 is already gone. So I think you should just work your way back up to that championship belt fight and fight whoever's there. It might not even be Rose.
Who do you think should be next to fight on Rose?
To be honest with you, I don't even know the girls in the UFC and their weight class. They're so sporadic. They're so...
That's true. They jump up and down.
And it's so little. And I think they made a bantamweight for that. And who's in that?
Well...
That's the thing. I don't know what woman is in what class.
I think...
And it's like one woman to each class. So I don't know.
I think Claudia Gadelha would be like the next best person to fight Rose. Because she was so close to beating Jędrzejczyk when they was going back and forth, and they fought twice. So I think if Claudia Gadelha work her way up to fighting for the belt, she should fight Rose. That'd be good.
Is that the one who kept missing weight?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, it wasn't her. Claudia is pretty professional. That's the one who did the Ultimate Fighter with Jędrzejczyk, and they was going back and forth like some wild cats. They was like trying to kill each other through the whole through the whole tough show.
Hey, that's fine. It's 2 females with a bunch of other females. I mean, what do you expect? It's not gonna last long.
Okay. Also, on that card, I think DC fought Stipe and won the heavyweight championship. That's another thing that it's so much stuff happened. It affects the whole thing. So how do you feel about this DC beating Stipe for the heavyweight title? He's champ now.
I'm unsettled about it. I'm very unsettled about it. Only because DC comes across to me like this troll, and it's like as soon as you give him a piece of candy, he's like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. He grew on me because Henry gave me the nice story of his background and things like that, but still just kind of just looking at him and the way he is right now is he could take that belt somewhere.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar now is pulled into the mix.
I don't care.
He's pulled into the mix.
That's so goddamn fake.
Who do you think will win that fight? Though?
I don't even care, to be honest with you. Brock Lesnar is back and forth from fake fighting to real fighting. So he doesn't even know if he wants to get punched or not get punched. So he's back and forth from wrestling to UFC, which I think is like, I don't know, an extra special thing that he has going on. And he came in the ring after he fought Stipe, trying to make this into a WWE event. like pushing him and create a drama. We don't do that. That doesn't even look right. And Brock Lesnar, he literally just came out of nowhere just to fight. I guess they have this friendship and they want to do their last fight before he retires. That's the only way I can see it. Because where did he come from?
True. He just came off a suspension with USADA.
But then he should work his way up.
Yeah,
but he's back and forth to fake fighting.
Cormier wants that money fight, so that's what he wants.
No, Cormier wants to fight him before fighting someone else because he don't want to get caught up before he retires. We know the deal. We know the strategy.
He want that chatter
before he lose everything before he retires.
Before he break out.
Because he knows that one person is coming back right in time.
I don't think he's gonna fight John Jones.
He wouldn't fight John.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
Nope. I'm running with my heavyweight title, and that's it. My legacy is secure. I'm out.
Just leave.
I would not fight John Jones. I'm
take
sorry.
your time.
If you think it's a pussy move,
fuck that.
But
then be a big one. But
out.
Go.
John Jones, you the light heavyweight champion, if you want to say that, but you're not the heavyweight champion. You never fought heavyweight ever.
Yeah.
And Cormier is undefeated as a heavyweight and the champion.
For now.
So if he beats Brock Lesnar, get this payday, and break out, he's okay. But if he fights John Jones and John Jones beats him for his heavyweight title, oh my God. That would devastate Cormier and destroy his whole career. And the one person he can't beat at any weight would be John Jones.
That's another situation like the Rose Namajunas and Jumchat. Even if they fought a third time, would it really matter? The best 2 out of 3 is already taken.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you want to say the second one, oh, he had supplements in his system and this, that, and the third, yeah, we got that. But the best 2 out of 3 is already done. And to be honest with you, and I don't even like John Jones. And I'm iffy on Cormier because he's just cocky and he looks like a troll. And it's just stupid. Best advice from everywhere, from all over, from everybody you know and people you don't know and just people. Don't even take that fight. Even if he exit on, that would just be a completely ridiculous move in your whole professional career. Don't even do it.
And right now, DC is on top. Stipe was the most winningest heavyweight champion ever. He beat him. Now, Cormier has that status. So it's like he basically took that legacy and ran with it. I hope he retires and does not fight John Jones. I hope he retires and does not fight John Jones because John Jones is going to destroy him and take his belt and take his legacy and take his career. I'm sorry, that's how I feel about it because John Jones just has his number. He just has it. He knows what to do.
What if they're training and something happens to God forbid, if something happens to Brock Lesnar and he doesn't make it to fight?
He said he would fight Gustafsson.
Of course he would because he fought Gustafsson already.
I wouldn't fight Gustafsson either.
I don't think Gustafsson wants to fight him either because that's just a waste of time. It's you playing it too safe. Just take your time. You and Brock Lesnar take the extended training period.
Don't get hurt.
Exactly. Just slow moving.
And Brock, stay off of the juice. Stay off the juice, buddy.
Unless WWE calls you.
We're not even gonna talk about who WWE be calling. Ronda Rousey. I heard she's doing good, but yeah, she's over there doing the fake fighting, so she could stay over there and keep on doing that.
Because you saw what happened when real fighting went down, so you're vulnerable now.
Speaking of champions losing their belts, Henry Cejudo beat Demetrius Johnson. Congratulations, Henry Cejudo. Demetrius Johnson. I can't believe you lost.
Congratulations for holding that belt for as long as you did. It doesn't matter if you lost at this point. You already broke record.
And
you already made
so
your name.
close.
You did a phenomenal job for Demetrius Johnson. I totally commend you. Completely commend you. You did your goddamn thing.
I like his attitude about it. Yeah.
I love the whole thing. I like his old wife. I like his whole little. He's dope to be shorter than me. Okay, that's really dope. Henry Cejudo, I give much respect to because he's totally different from the first fight that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in there with a purpose, he came in there with a reason, and he came in there and he dominated. Henry Cejudo definitely did his thing. He's a prime example of fighters doing their homework and coming back and conquering. Him and Demetrius Shaw, who's the guy that TJ Dillashaw? Cody Garbrandt.
TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
He's another one who does like these phenomenal comebacks. And I think Henry Cejudo, I want to say you deserve that belt because you really worked for that belt. You were a completely different fighter.
Yeah.
And Demetrius Johnson, he held on to that belt for a phenomenal time. I think that fight was perfect.
A lot of people said that they think Demetrius Johnson won because he beat him in the striking, but those takedowns, and he held him down for the amount of time.
You can't live it off of just one thing. Yes, Henry
know.
Cejudo gave him a fight.
Yeah, he did.
And Demetrius Johnson, I don't want to say this, but I really don't know. I felt that he thought maybe he could slide by like he did the first one. And he put in a couple of extra things, but I didn't think he felt that he had to put that much effort because he already beat him already. Yeah. That's when you put in more effort when you beat them already because they have a reason now. Yeah. So I think that fight was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
How it ended and the loss of the belt from I don't even feel no kind of way because that was great. Both those fighters did a great job.
Okay, same card. My man TJ Dillashaw, the Snake.
He is a snake.
Beat Cody Garbrandt.
I feel horrible. I feel like they stopped the fight too fast. I feel like they stopped it too fast. Even though he did look kind of slumped, they did stop it a little too fast because when he got up, he looked like he was back.
He was catching it.
I do not like TJ Dillashaw. He is such a pussy bitch. He's like one of those kids you drag outside after school and just throw him against the garbage can. Don't even throw him in the garbage can, just throw him against that shit. Just like Cody Garbrandt rape choked him. He's like one of those dudes just
that's a classic moment because
I love it. I just love it.
That's
I do
something
not
that
like
plays,
him.
and you can like watching them beef. You can't get you can't help but to get invested in emotion, and when you see him choke him like
because you see how much of a bitch he is. It's like yeah, he deserved it.
Oh my god!
It's not like oh. He's getting bullied. No, he's not getting bullied. Look at how bitchy he is. He's like, oh, I should have did that. I should have did. He's crying. And he cried and he cried and he kept crying.
Come on, I like TJ though. TJ is dope.
Just like you like Gregor and look what that happened.
Oh.
Just like you like Rousey and look what happened to that. Just like you like Jones and just look what happened to that.
But TJ Dillashaw
is a bitch.
Knocked out Cody Garbrandt two times in a row.
You want to know what? I think the second one was staged.
How is it staged?
I think I'm gonna put it out there. I think the second one is staged. That's how much I don't like Dillashaw. I think the second one was staged. Straight up.
Oh my god.
Just like Conor and Alvarez. Just like it was set up. I'm sorry. His cockiness has no room. There's no room for that shit. I'm sorry.
But you know what?
He needs to go to like fat camp or something.
It was a rivalry. It was a rivalry that was a great rivalry. They still got this thing with Dominic Cruz talking about coming back and fighting Cody Garbrandt fighting TJ Dillashaw because he beat TJ Dillashaw. He was the last person to beat TJ Dillashaw for the belt. So he got beat by Cody, and then TJ beat Cody. So then if Dominic Cruz comes back healthy,
I hope he
that
beats
would be
Dillashaw.
a great fight. Another one.
Imagine if he beats Dillashaw.
I hope
Dillashaw
not. I want Dillashaw to win.
You want Dillashaw? You see what I mean?
I want Dillashaw to win.
If what's his name?
Dominic Cruz.
Why can't I remember his name?
Dominic Cruz is good, man.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah,
I like the fight that I saw with with Cody Garbrandt. But Dillashaw, he needs If Cruz, if you feel Dillashaw is even worth it, you come back in there and you bust his shit wide open. Wide open.
Right after the fight, I don't know if you know this guy, Devontae Tank Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the Floyd Mayweather's guys. Mm-hmm. He said he wanted to fight the guy who beat Cody Garbrandt, which he didn't even know TJ Dillashaw's name.
Does he even know how to kick?
I don't know.
Do they even know how to lift their knees?
I think
Go away.
He might be bluffing.
Go away.
But he's a great boxer. He's a good boxer. That's why they call him Tank. He's a knockout
You
artist.
see my face?
But
You see my face?
I think TJ Dillashaw would destroy.
It's like a figure skate. You want to
Yeah.
try football.
That's
Come
like-
on.
But
what are you
then-
doing?
Do you think boxers are secretly training MMA
They are now.
on the side?
They are now.
Yeah,
they
because
are
it's
now.
money, right? Because it's
Yeah,
money.
and they know they could get beat.
And there's fame in it too.
And they
I
know
think-
they could get. I'm
yeah.
sorry, boxers,
No.
but I think y'all secretly know y'all could get beat.
This is what I'm realizing.
How can y'all not?
You get richer boxing, but you get more famous fighting MMA.
Say that to Mayweather.
No, listen, no, that's a different era. That's a different era. It's going to be no more super duper stars other than like the heavyweights we got now. They coming up, but like, who else is a super star? That's a boxer that you really know, other than like the top guys like Lomachenko or what is it? The two heavyweights that's fighting supposed to be fighting each other. See?
I don't care.
But it seems that as an MMA fighter, you get more famous, and as a boxer, you get more money. And it's like, I think they're playing the game going back and forth to master the media portion of it, where you can actually get a lot of money by being a boxer, but then when you jump into MMA, you get a lot more fans. And then you go back to boxing, and then you bring those fans that you got from going into MMA back to boxing. Like if you even look at what's her name, Heather Hardy. She wasn't famous as a boxer. Nobody really knew her until she started to fight in MMA. When she started fighting in Bellator, that's when everybody was like, "Oh, Heather Hardy." But she was an undefeated boxer for years. So was what's her name, Holly Holmes. Holly Holmes undefeated for a long time. She was like champion. Nobody knew her name until she started fighting MMA. So if she goes back to boxing, everybody's going to want to see her boxing matches also. But she's not going to do that. She's an MMA fighter now. But as in Heather Hardy, she goes back to boxing, and her fans from MMA will go follow her back. It's just something I was just thinking about. Okay. Now, we had this, let me see. Tyron Woodley versus Darren Till. Tyron Woodley originally was supposed to fight Colby Covington, and Colby Covington supposedly had some nose surgery, so Darren Till jumped in to fight in his stead. So we have Tyron Woodley and Darren Till. So how you feel about that? How you feel that fight should go?
I feel first of all it's not being promoted enough.
It's definitely not.
And Woodley should step up his game a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know much about
I think this is like,
Till, but so much. I don't know a little bit about him.
yeah. Till basically new. He's a new upcoming fighter from England or from Liverpool, and he just beat Wonder Boy by like a thread. He just beat him by like a thread. A lot of people said Wonder Boy won that fight, but they gave it to Till.
No offense, but
Until
y'all
this
making
weight.
me sick. Y'all want Wonder Boy to win every fight. He
Till-
is not Superman or Wonder Man.
No, he. But
He's
if you look at
Wonder
the fight,
Boy.
it was very, very close. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm done.
No, that fight was close. That fight was close, and Till missed weight, so I don't even know how they let him fight. But he missed weight. They said because his girlfriend, something happened with his girlfriend. His girlfriend was in the hospital. He was visiting in the hospital at the same time he was doing his training camp. So now he seems to be the guy they want for the European audience. They want to take him and basically turn him into a superstar because they know they can get the pay-per-view money from Europe.
Well,
So-
if this whole thing is only about money and promotion, what are we fighting? What's the fighting for then? Then we can talk about ballet then. If that's what we're going to talk about is the money and the promotion part of it, that doesn't interest me. I'm sorry, guys. That's the money and the promotion part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in the conflict and the fighting and the skills. Who has the takedowns? Who has most wins? What skills are we looking at? How do you think these fighters did their homework? This is what I'm trying to get into it, and it's a little frustrating because I can't get into it the way I want to with the females because there's hardly any. I'm gonna start something off with a female. Nunez. I'm very uptight right now because I have no idea what the hell she's doing, and I'm tired of hearing her girlfriend. I don't even know what she sounds like anymore. They're supposed to be setting up this so-called fight with Cyborg. Even if it was to happen, something's going to be staged. Nunez is not going to go through with that fight. She don't want to. Her girlfriend doesn't want to. And it's sad now, to be honest with you. Either she fights a real fight for this belt and defend it, or take it away. Sorry. I'm at this point right now. Because her last fight was who? I don't even freaking remember.
It was Nunez?
I keep going back from from Ronda Rousey to who?
Pennington.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it was.
You see what I mean? How long ago was that?
I don't even believe that was a fight that should have even happened.
I don't even remember the fight.
Yeah, it was that long ago.
That's how long ago it is. And Nunez, what are you doing with this belt? How do you only defend it twice, right? And the first one was Pennington, right? Or was that the second time? Or did she fight 3 times? No. You didn't fight a handful. I know that much.
She didn't fight that much.
And I know one of the fights you was for defending was for Ronda Rousey, and that wasn't even a fight because she wasn't getting that belt back, even if she won. Okay, so that's not even a fight. And the Pennington fight, I remember her from the house, the Ultimate Fighter. I remember her. She's pretty cool, but where did she pop in from? And then to fight you, and then come on, yo, you either come in the UFC, go to Bellator or whatever, defend your belt, or give it up, all right? Because it's getting ridiculous. There are a lot of females in line waiting to be in your position, and you need to either pass it down or do something about it. Because you hurting me, and I feel bad for Cyborg.
She's sitting there like a hungry lion waiting to devour
anybody.
She's waiting to devour Amanda Nunez. She's just waiting. She's like, just fight me now.
I don't understand the problem. Holmes for her all 5 rounds.
I want to see Holmes fight Amanda Nunez if she doesn't.
You know what? She don't have to. She don't have to. She don't have to. Holmes don't have to fight Nunez. One, would that really be a money fight? Because Nunez is so low now. I don't even want to see her.
Who do you think will win?
Nunez or Holmes?
Yeah.
Holmes. Definitely. Why? Because she already fought Cyborg.
That's true. And
definitely.
It was a pretty good fight.
It was an excellent fight. It went to decision. Mm-hmm. She took Cyborg to decision. That's all I have to say right there. That's one. Then she took her all 5 rounds. That's 2. Cyborg, I think, was more appreciated and more honored that she had a fight, period. I don't even care if she won or lost. And I feel the same thing about Holly Holmes. I think that she feels satisfied that she gave Cyborg that fight. Okay. That was well deserved. I feel bad for Cyborg. And if anything, Cyborg should get online right now and call out Nunez and make her fight.
It's like that division.
Or make her girlfriend fight.
Even the randomly, like she's trying to come back and fight.
No, randomly.
She's trying to fight Pennington.
You're pathetic.
She's trying to come and she thinks it's gonna be an easy fight, so she's trying to pick Pennington, somebody who's a lot smaller than her.
Go ahead and get Ronda Rousey. Go ahead.
But she probably beat Pennington. But the thing is she was supposed to fight Cyborg for that belt. The randomly, because the randomly beat Holly Holmes, and she had the belt, and the next fight on the line was supposed to be Cyborg. That whole fight was to line up who was gonna fight Cyborg, and she didn't fight her.
Cyborg had 1 fight, and that was with Nunez. I mean, with Holmes. Excuse me. She had 1 fight, and that was it. All the other fights that's been matched up with Cyborg, it's always been some petty, piddly ass bitch's excuse. Always. Even cramps. Oh, I got my period. Oh, come on. Your peddly ass bitch excuses. Come on. Men won't even fight her. I feel bad for Cyborg. For real. And Nunez, you need to drop off that belt.
And the random me, I'm surprised because the random me actually fought men and won. She was a champion in kickboxing. Why are you not going to fight Cyborg?
Because it's
Cyborg. That would be one of the
Cyborg.
biggest fights ever.
You see Cyborg? Do you forget Cyborg?
No,
She's
I
a
see.
big
But
woman.
then, my thing is, if you're a fighter, you can't be scared to fight anybody. And the random me, she had the chance to become a legend. And she has the skills to beat Cyborg. She has the height, she has the length.
But she doesn't have the mentality.
She don't have
obviously.
the heart. That's what the problem is. She don't have the heart. And I don't know. But skill to skill, I think that would have been a great matchup between them. That's why people were so disappointed, because that matchup would have been a great matchup with the Randomly and Chris Cyborg. And you know, she beat Holly Holm. She beat her with some illegal shots, supposedly some illegal shots in there, hitting after the bell. But still, it was a little controversy. But she still had the belt, and she still had that fight lined up, and she could have been a legend for beating Cyborg if she would have fought and won. Even if she would have fought her and got to the 5th round and was a great fight, she would have got legendary status just from fighting the GOAT of the women.
Well, she lost that because Holmes had
Yeah, she just...
It's over.
So I hope Amanda Nunes eventually steps up and fight. We still don't have no main card for the New York, so that might be somewhere in there. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Because the undercard is supposed to... Well, we'll talk about that later. The New York card. But yeah, they're trying to work that out with all of these fighters, saying they're not going to fight and this one's going to fight or whatever. But they have no main event for the New York card. Okay, the big one. Actually, okay, we had the 25-year whatever press conference. They were announcing all these fights. One of them was the Nate Diaz-Dustin Poirier fight. How do you feel about this fight, and how do you feel about Nate Diaz coming back? There was a little controversy after the press conference, but I'm glad Nate Diaz is back. I want to see him fight. I miss that guy. I miss Nick Diaz too. I miss the Diaz brothers and their style of fighting. I miss their attitude. I miss their warrior spirit. I want to see these guys fight. Dustin Poirier is a good fighter too. He just beat Eddie Alvarez. A little controversial about that fight. A little controversy about that fight, how it was stood up, but then he won because he took advantage of the situation. But how do you feel about Dustin Poirier fighting Nate Diaz?
I think that'd be a good fight. I'm glad Diaz is coming back too.
I miss that guy. Blaze one for Nate Dogg.
He never cares.
That's my
like
dude.
Him a lot. I'm glad he's coming back. I'm glad he's fighting Dustin Poirier. I think that'd be a good fight for him as a comeback fight. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So my eyes will be glued to that match. Definitely. I want to see him. I like Nick Diaz.
Yeah.
That's my dude. I like him a lot. I actually want to go visit. I want to meet him, but outside of the UFC field. I don't want to talk about fighting or anything like that. I want to talk about other stuff. But he's really a cool dude. I wish I could meet him.
We need to get to that high rollers thing because him and his brother Nick be at that high rollers thing. So we see some jiu-jitsu and smoke some weed or whatever. That's what they do.
That's fine.
That'd be fun. So the whole thing about this Nate Diaz thing is after that press conference, during the press conference, they played the Conor McGregor versus Khabib promo, and he was finished. He looked up and he was like, you know what, I'm out of here. Y'all need to promote my fight. Yeah, he left. Yeah. As soon as that thing came on.
He never has a problem leaving. Never.
As he would say, I don't give a fuck.
Never. Never.
That's my dude.
If he's tired of sitting there, he'll just get up and leave.
So how do you feel about this big Conor McGregor versus Khabib? This is the fight everybody wanted to see. Khabib is a beast.
Khabib is a gangster. I'm sorry.
This dude.
He's the original.
Oh my
gangster of Russia. I said it. He's the OG of Russia. There you go. F for Putin.
Assalamu alaikum.
Fuck
Khabib.
Putin. He pooped too much. I got stuff. All right, you can start it off.
So you want to start from the beginning, like how this whole thing started? Did we
ever talk about Snowball started?
The art of Okay.
You can correct his name. I'm never going to get his name. His name is Arnett Snowball.
Okay.
And he started this whole thing
Artem
in
Lobov. Russia.
Artem Lobov. He started his... That's it? Artem Lobov? It's Lobov?
Lobov.
Arnett Snowball started all this shit in Russia, which I now find out he lives in Ireland. So he started it in Russia, and it basically got finished in New York.
Okay. So... he got interviewed by Russian television.
Don't call him Anita.
So he was saying in the interview that he thinks he thinks that Conor is a better fighter than Khabib. Khabib pulls out too much. He's always getting injured. Conor is more of a warrior because even if he's injured, he go fight anyway. That he's a stronger fighter, and I'm not sure if he called like Khabib he called him something
Sausage party,
like a pull-out king or whatever. So Khabib caught him in New York, in a hotel.
By himself.
And
But Khabib had his people with him.
He got him in his face. Khabib had like 10 dudes with him. They surrounded him. Khabib
Tell him how you got him. Tell him how you got him.
was talking to him, and then he put his hand on his neck like this.
The back of it.
On the back, and he was talking to him. And when he was about to go in these separate directions, he slapped him. Pow!
And Arnez cried.
Pow! And
Arnez no more cried.
Khabib's manager was smart enough to get Artem out of there and send him about his way. Okay, fast
Because you
forward.
was about to get handed.
Fast forward.
That's why.
Okay, Conor must have seen this on.
No. Back up.
Yeah.
Arnez Snowball ran to Conor and told him what happened.
We don't know that.
Stop lying.
We don't
Go
know
ahead.
that. Okay.
How else did he know?
All
He
right.
ran to Conor and told him what happened.
Okay. He ran to Conor and told him what happened.
That's what a nigga do.
And Conor took 20 dudes, threw them on a plane, and flew to New York, right? So
So
the
he got
buses,
an Irish dude to handle his problem in
but
Russia.
that's his team. That's part of his team. So it's part
What?
of his team.
That's like me going to get a Mexican to handle my family problems.
But if you're in the same gym.
Nope.
Okay. So the buses were going from the Barclay in Brooklyn back to the hotels because the fight was the next day. So Conor's people ran into the Barclay, smashed up the bus
With
not a dolly. Everybody's saying a dolly.
Hand
No,
truck.
it's a hand truck. Not dolly. It's not dolly gate. It's hand truck gate.
which makes it worse.
Yeah. So he threw a hand truck at the bus. He broke the window. Some people got hurt. Whatever. And now it's being used. Oh well, Conor was brought up on charges or whatever.
Fighters got hurt. There were fights that got lost off the card.
Yeah, we talked
which
about
means
this
money
last.
was like, yep, and I'll
Yeah.
keep talking about it.
3 fights were
What would make you
canceled.
do some dumb shit like that? Throw
3
a
fights were
hand truck.
canceled. 6 people didn't get paid because of Conor, but he's gonna pay them. He has to pay them. He's gonna pay for this shit.
So it's all smoothed over now, so it's all okay.
So he's gonna pay his restitution. He's gonna do community service, and then he's gonna fight. He's gonna have to get in the ring with